Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 5 Tips and Tricks for Careers in Athletics. I am your host, Dr. Maury Moskovitz, with my all-time most favorite, most wonderful, best co-host, Jen Albanese. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Maury. How are you? I didn't laugh today.
I know. I was just thinking that myself. I was like, no giggles today.
I was I'm not serious. I was smiling, but no giggles. So
we have a guest that usually makes you giggle, Ari Liberman.
Oh, I know. Ari's the best.
Athletic administrator, AD at a school district locally in our area, and does an amazing job and has some great insight. So anybody that really wants to get into that world of primary education, athletics, he's an awesome one to hear from. So we'll have some great stuff coming up from him shortly.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're into a new year, and as family, we often celebrate the holidays together, and we have done that again for New Year's with all of our children. We come to my house and we do a little thing, but this year you and your husband added something special to our New Year celebration.
I will give it all to my husband. He had this idea. He's big on watching reels. I'm sure everybody does this, but he'll send me like millions of reels in a day. And I'm like, babe, I don't have time to watch all of these, but thank you for thinking of me. But he's been wanting to do this one reel, and we'll share it on our socials for you to see. But it's the one where everybody like bangs on the pots and you like lip sync, and you have the guy come in like with the trombone with like the
toilet paper,
the toilet paper and the mop.
The broom.
So in the room, so we were talking about this on New Year's Eve, and we were like, we should do this with the kids and all of us. So we like decorated Maury and Liz's house and like this whole area, and we got the kids involved, and the kids were all into it, and it was so much fun, and we laughed so hard. And
people have gone crazy over this.
Oh my God.
We've had so many people talk to us about this.
Oh my God. Like people are texting us like, when are you guys doing your next reel? Like hilarious. Like the kids loved it. Like literally my children are like, every day, can we watch that video again? We did. I'm like, sure, guys. We have like 40 comments on Facebook. Like it was hilarious.
So we will have to reprise a new reel. Maybe that will be our new traditions of like family dinners, or if we have maybe a yearly New Year's, but maybe we'll do it more often. I've had so many people be like, when are you guys putting your next one out? So
I know, like even everybody at work was laughing.
I've had so many people. So we will have John try and figure out what his next,
the next reel,
the next iteration of our family entertainment will be for the masses.
And we'll make sure to share it on our Ath Career Pod social too, so you guys can see it in case you don't follow Maury and I. But we'll put it out on our socials too, because it is pretty funny.
But it was a good time. And Ari might have been one of the people that commented or laughed. Definitely. I
think he might have.
I 100% know his wife did.
I think so too. I think so.
She puts she's out there on the socials. But we are really looking forward to Ari, and we'll catch him after this break.
Are you a loyal 5 Tips and Tricks podcast listener? If not, now is the time to start. Get all your info and fun content on the podcast by following us on all our social channels at Ath Career Pod. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast is a part of Athletic Career Consulting. Make sure to reach out to us. The one-stop shop for everything is our website, www.athcareer.com. Remember, follow and like us on Ath Career Pod, rate and review us, and get all your info at www.athcareer.com. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Maury, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Today's guest is a lifelong Central New Yorker whose influence on student athletes spanned decades. After earning multiple degrees from Syracuse University in physical education, instructional design, and educational leadership, he began his career as a teacher and coach in the Syracuse City School District. In 2004, he became a supervisor of athletics and physical education at Henninger High School, later adding Nottingham High School to his oversight. His leadership extends regionally as vice president of the SCAC conference and vice chairman of the Section 3 football and basketball committees, roles he's held since 2004. Since 2014, he has served as the director of athletics, physical education, and health at Liverpool Central School District, guiding a multimillion-dollar facility expansion, multiple state championships, and navigating the challenges of COVID-19. He's also led numerous capital improvement projects and advanced professional standards through specializing in training in artificial turf management and educational law. A proud product of Syracuse and passionate advocate for Liverpool, he continues to shape the future of student athletes. Please welcome to the show, Ari Liberman. Welcome, Ari.
Hi,
Thank you,
Ari.
guys. Thank you. Hi. Gave me the chills, Maury. Thank you. It's been a while.
I've known you from a lot of it. We started off
That's
with Section 3 football and some basketball stuff, and it's been I've known you for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. This is great. It's good to catch up and see you. We don't get to see each other as much anymore, and it's nice to do this. So thank you again.
Yes.
Well, we would love to hear some of your tips being an athletic director and your background in primary education. And so let's go from there.
All right. So the first thing that I would say is it's sometimes really hard for me, especially, is don't get too high, don't get too low. I think I've been at this a while, as you said, and sometimes it's really easy, just like in what you guys do, to get excited and to be, when you start experiencing some success, you get those highs, and right in the middle of the highs, sometimes you get the really bad lows, and that's been something that's been challenging for me. Over the last 12 years here at Liverpool, is that we have had so many great things happen with our teams, with our facilities, as you alluded to. In public school education, there are obviously boards of education and different people that you have to work with that sometimes make you feel lower than you should. So keeping sight of what's important. And again, trying to stay in the middle and make sure, in what we do, it's cliche, but always trying to remember that we're doing what's best for the kids. So trying to keep, even keel, I would say, is probably the most important thing. And, full transparency. When the lows get low, certainly your frustration sometimes is, for me, you guys both know me, and sometimes, you tend to lose it a little bit. But again, I think I've learned that, and over the last couple of years, my perspective on family and different things, and trying to be more present with my kids, and putting their needs sometimes ahead of the 9 o'clock p.m. needs tonight, is something that I've definitely gotten better with.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I think also because athletics, they're so passionate. People are have a lot of emotion, and that's the people that are drawn towards the field. And it's always something for me that's been how do you keep steady? And there's some people that are really good at it that just are kind of, you never know if they're up or down, they just stay at it. And I think for a lot of us, that's not an easy thing to do because we're very invested in the students, in the place, and what we're doing. And it's hard to keep that steadiness. And so what a great tip, because I agree. I think it's something that you have to constantly monitor, constantly aware of, and something to try and to work for continuously.
Yes. I would say along those lines, actually, when the tough times happen, I would say for me, and there's certainly lots of them, right? I would say for me, focusing, getting my head wrapped around the things that I enjoy still about this is something that I really try to do when those times occur. I feel I'm getting low. I'm going to focus on the June renovations we have coming for baseball and softball stadiums, and the big expansions with those, and focusing my energy on that, or even getting an email out to Appel Osborne, who you guys know, about that, just to get my head on something else. I know I like to do that when I have to get into health curriculum and things like that, where thankfully we have curriculum directors in Liverpool, so that's not an Ari thing all the time. But that's not, I get low on that stuff because I struggle to see my value in it, you know. So it's for somebody else. But I tend to say, you know what, we're going to get through it, and I need to focus on the June projects to push me through this.
Right. Focus on the positive. I think, like I was going to say, like sports is emotional. So you do get highs and lows all the time. And, it's hard, but I think it's something you're constantly working at. I think we are the same way. Like if a season is good, you're on the high and everybody's positive in the office. And then, we might not have a great season and it gets a little bit more stressful and kind of, down, and you just have to focus on those positive things and what's coming in the future and how you keep moving towards that. So I think that's a really good one.
Awesome.
I agree. And one of the things we say all the time, people are winning is fun.
Yeah.
Right. It's also super hard, but winning is fun. So.
Yes.
Well, great start, Ari. Let's go with number 2. What do you got for us next?
Okay. Well, that was kind of like 1.5, but I'll give you 2.
Exactly.
It's so triage. I have a new assistant, and she's phenomenal. She was a school building secretary at one of the middle schools. So since July, it's been a serious transition here. We've got the most programs in Section 3, most levels, most sports. So it was a lot to take on. But one of the things that for us is some days that's all that we can do. Some days that's all we could do. And I think for me, it's understanding that now, that's just how some days are going to be. And I'm not going to be able to get to the other stuff. I'm not going to be able to reschedule the 52 snow day games that we've had on the last. It's going to have to be tomorrow. So I think really, understanding the flow of the day, the week, the school, the time of year. Are we in between seasons? Are we dead smack in the middle? Are we, today or yesterday we started our 7th and 8th grade modified sports, which brings a whole nother thing into this with, parents. You have parents, you guys are first time parents, you have parents who never signed a kid up for a sport. They don't know anything about it. And sometimes we take that for granted, like, oh, it's on the website, it's over here. So I get, dealing with those phone calls, which Teresa's fantastic with, but handling those things while she's on the phone, 2 kids could come in with an issue, whether it's a discipline issue or, whatever it might be, lost and found. I mean, we get crazy things in here. So I would say the biggest tip is when triage is needed, then triage is needed. And you can't worry about the rest of the stuff, and you have to handle what's important right in front of you.
Yeah, I literally said that to Maury yesterday. You were in my office, and I said, listen, I can only get done what I can today that needs to get done, and I'll just do the rest tomorrow. And he was like, oh, my God, that's such a great thing. And I'm like, well, I only have so much time in the day, and there's things that are right in front of me that I have to do today. And you get that done, and then the other stuff, just you move on to the next day, and it's hard to separate, but you have to do that or you'll never get it all done. So
you won't get it all done anyway. That's another thing is that this never in athletics. I think Maury, you mentioned it, the pressures, the expectations, in this realm, it's different. People expect different things. I said it today at a league athletic directors meeting. We had some kids come in and talk about officials and how, the average age across the high school athletics is 65 for these officials. Wow. And they're trying to recruit, but they're getting screamed at, poor behavior by the kids, poor behavior by the parents, all those things. And the parent in the crowd's expecting a perfect official.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. And the parents are expecting perfect coaches. It's not a real thing, but it's funny you say that, Jen, because I try to do that, but then you get in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I didn't get to this yesterday, so.
Right. I know.
I think the word triage is perfect though, and it's not used enough. I think I'm going to use that in the future myself because it's like, it's those things where you have that ultimate emergency. You really have to put the other stuff aside. You have no choice. And it happens so much more frequently than people realize. Like if water's coming down from the ceiling in your gym, like that is going to overtake the fact that you were supposed to have this meeting about a presentation on field in 2 months. Like, unfortunately, it's you have to do that, and it can feel so overwhelming. And I think if you look at it from that idea of triage, like a medical professional, where you have to do what makes the most sense and does the best thing for the organization. It's such a better way to look at it than just being like, I'm overwhelmed, because that you could just say that it's like, I can't take it all. But if you look at it like that, I think it makes great sense.
Because it is overwhelming.
Yeah,
it is. It is. If you care, like you mentioned, the passion, the things, it is overwhelming because you care about all of it and you want to make it a great, and it's difficult. So. Yeah.
Well, another great one, Ari. Yeah. We're going number 3.
Yes. All right. This one's easy. It's walk away. I've got a door out here, back door here out of the office, and there have been times where I go out, walk around the field back here a little bit, and just catch some fresh air because what you were about to say or what you could say is probably not going to be the right thing. So just walking away. We have so many collective bargaining agreements and contracts here, and I work across so many different ones, whether it's custodial, security, the teachers, the secretaries. So we encompass all of those on a daily basis, our maintenance workers, our grounds team. So I think it's, we're talking about it's a lot of triage and a lot of, sometimes like you walk away. Honestly, that's my biggest thing. And I'm better at it now. I'm better at walking away and not fighting. So
it takes time. Jen and I have had this conversation many times. There's a staff member that we've worked with that we've tried to say to them, it's not worth it. Just take it, walk away from it, give yourself 20 minutes or whatever you need. But just to keep fighting, or just to, like, we've been in the room where they just won't let it go, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And you're like,
and you're not getting a positive resolution on that.
No.
So it's like, sometimes the best thing is to walk away, or like, I always will say, like, okay, get a frustrating email. Don't answer it right now. Wait until tomorrow. Or, you know what I mean? Like, because the way I feel right now is not how I'm going to feel tomorrow. And I'm going to answer it way better than I did today you know what I mean? So
Totally. I've made those mistakes for sure.
Yeah, and I think you almost have to make them at least 1 or 2 times in your career, and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that again, because that's only just going to add fuel to the fire. And so I love that. Walk away. Always have a nice little back door.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, there is the one benefit of athletics is you always have interesting spaces to go to. So, like, I will just walk up in my office and go to the arena, or be like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the other side of the complex where people are probably not expecting me to be, and just do a lap back and forth and clear my head. Like, it is a great tip, because sometimes you just need to step away from it.
Yep. For sure.
Well, we're rolling here.
That's a great one. I love it.
That's a great one.
I love it. Okay.
So,
number 4.
Along those lines, for number 4, along those lines, one of the things that I'm able to do too is we've got 14 school buildings here, and 3 of them are kindergarten through 2nd grade. So since I'm responsible for PE teachers as well, one of the things that I do is I schedule, usually, and I'll start up next week, I schedule every Wednesday to be out of my office for most of the morning. So I usually start at the elementary schools, and I personally, I love the K2 phys ed. So I love to go over there, and that helps me. That refocuses me on why I do this, why I got into it. Why, obviously, I get to see my teachers too, and see how they're doing. But I get to sit in there and watch the little kids play, and the little kids have fun. And again, it's not the walk away thing, but for me, I always know that if I go there, I'm going to get myself together for a couple hours, and then I'll return back to the office. But it gets me away from the computer and as much as humanly possible from the phone.
Yeah.
But I guess, visiting the lower level schools is incredibly helpful for me to keep my focus on why I got into this.
There's got to be some really entertaining days being in those gyms, because
For sure.
my wife texted me yesterday and said the nurse contacted, this is definitely maybe a my son thing, but maybe a boy thing, and it's like they were playing with, I don't know, like some koosh ball or something, and it hit his eye, and they just wanted to let us know that he got hit in the eye. I was like, what does it matter? But
Yeah,
that
like-
becomes a very big deal to a kindergartner.
Yeah, and it becoming a big deal is not contacting your wife.
Exactly.
That's where all this stuff is. That's probably a challenge. It's incredibly challenging.
I said that nurse has a really high threshold for liability protection. Like, she is really going all at it to send the note for that one. She's
They
like,
have to.
She's like,
They
did
have
you
to,
see it in the thing? I was like, no, I did not see that one.
They have to.
It's crazy.
The way everything is litigated now, in what we do, everything's driven by that,
So
which
crazy.
stinks.
But they have a lot of fun. The kids have a lot of fun doing it. That's one of the things I always hear about is phys ed and what they did in phys ed. And
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's all they talk about is what they had in PE class. Oh, we did this, we played this. I'm like, what about anything else? But I think that's just like their way to let out their energy. And like you said, for you, it kind of gives you that focus again of like, this is why we're here. We're here for these kids to give them an experience in athletics, to be able to get out their energy and be a part of a team and learn all of those things. And it's great to refocus, and the little kids will definitely do that for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they know that, the teachers appreciate it too, because they know that everybody knows when the kid gets back to class after that, they're going to be better in the class, in the classroom. So,
Right.
well,
yep.
So
Ari,
good.
you're killing it. We're down to the last one. Last one, Jen.
All right,
Number
yes.
5.
All right. So what do you know now that you wish you knew then? So what do you know now at this point in your career that you wish you knew when you first started?
Yeah, I've thought about this a little bit. I wish I knew that everybody wasn't going to have the same drive and passion that I do. Even, these coaching jobs now that we have are very hard. And sometimes, my passion for everybody wanting to be the best, I want everybody in my eyes should be working as hard as they can. Absolutely. Other than your family, this is what you should be doing. It took me a long time I would get very frustrated. But it took me a long time to realize that that's not the case. And I wish I knew when I started, or even when I came to Liverpool. I thought when I came to Liverpool, if I came in here and gave every single thing that I had every single day, 7 days a week, on the phone, all the time, every single day, the whole year, I thought it would be appreciated by the masses, right? But you can't please everybody. And obviously, when you're making tough decisions, people get upset. But I think that's the one thing is I wish I understood. I just thought that's what we were supposed to do. I thought everybody was supposed to be working for that common goal to win state titles, bring new facilities, no issues with staff. I thought that's how everybody wanted to be, but it's certainly not.
No.
And along with that, I think I wish I had a little bit better perspective on that when I started. That I could balance a little bit better. So I would say understanding. I thought everybody was going to be like me.
No, I think that's a great example. Like, it's, you think you get in there, you think people are going to be a certain way, and then you put an effort like, well, if I just show them how much, and you put more and more of yourself into it and put more out there and more out there, well, they'll see that it's gonna, like, they'll catch on. But the reality is that you can only give so much of yourself before they take everything of you, and you need to try and emulate it in a positive way, but do it with a level of, control and dealing with stuff, because you can't control these other people, or no matter how much effort you put into it personally, it's not going to change their behavior. And so, you can do your best. You can try and throw it out there to them. And I think it's such a good life lesson of like, hey, you can kill yourself trying to like get everybody to be in line, but there's limits to what you're going to be able to get out of people, or what people are going to put into this, and realizing those limits and trying to build on the margins, like maybe it's not that I get them to do this, but if I can get them a little bit farther here, or, in a year or so, this situation's going to change. So let's do what we can and get it to a better place in the future. Like, that's something that I agree. It came to me hard. It took a lot of time, and not everybody does want to be in the same goal. And it's a hard thing as a leader, is to try and motivate people to all be in the same place, because we're all not the same people. So
and I thought working tirelessly for the district would be enough for some people, but it's just not.
No, there's some people it will never be enough. You could give your entire self. Sometimes I've told this to Jen. I feel like I could like do everything and then jump off this building for people sometimes, and it still would not be enough. It would not have satisfied them.
It's good to realize that, because then you learn to balance for yourself. Like you said in the beginning about like, hey, I want to make sure I'm present with my kids and I'm there for what's going on in their life, and like not missing important milestones and stuff like that. And you realize like, hey, I got to do what's right for me. I'm not going to not work hard. It's not to say that you're not going to change who you are and you're not going to work hard, but then accepting the fact like it might not ever be enough for some people. So I need to also do what's right for me and have that balance to be able to be healthy and okay with who I am. So
not sacrifice yourself for these other people you'll never please.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. That was so good.
Ari, we so appreciate you doing this. We love your perspective. We always love hanging out with you. So thank you for taking the time.
I know.
I love doing it. I'm so glad you guys asked me. And if you need anything, you guys let me know. Love to be involved any way I can. And it's good to see you guys.
Thank you. Sure. Please tell your amazing wife I said hello, and the children, and I miss seeing you guys. And
we'll see you guys soon as a group.
Yes.
January 24th.
Yep.
There's a home game, right?
Yep, they're doing our dance team alumni weekend, so I'll get to see
then.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I will be there for that.
Oh, making an appearance. We will be excited.
I know.
Should be fun. Should be fun.
It'll be great. Well, thank you, Ari, and thanks
you guys.
Thanks everybody for listening, and make sure you're liking and following us on all your socials and listening on your podcast platforms. And every Tuesday we have a new episode. So thank you again, Ari, and thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
If you like the 5 Tips and Tricks podcast, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. You can rate and review us, including questions that may be answered on future episodes. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast for careers in athletics is part of Athletic Career Consulting. Check us out at www.athcareer.com. Don't forget to follow and like us on your top social media platforms.